Hello and welcome to VOP this morning. I'm Moses Humphrey, and working with me is Esther Wachuku. 7-day workers' strike reverberates in many states across Nigeria. In fact, protesters yesterday brought down the National Assembly gate, forcing their way into the premises. Plus, Lagos state government has begun an inquiry into what exactly happened, leading to the death of Dr. Vuare Diaso. Now, these are the two topics of interest this morning. In the meantime, we will like for you to click the subscribe button on our YouTube channel and be part of what we do right here. This is Voice of the People, and that's how we appear up on YouTube. It is Voice of the People TV. And on other social media channels, we are at VOP TV Live. First off, let's head into what the cover pages are saying, and I have VOP in-house analyst Cyril Abaku to help me make sense of the headlines in the cover pages of some newspapers this morning. Cyril, good morning to you.
Good morning, Moses. It's a sprightly Thursday morning.
Oh, well, I don't know how I feel about today, really.
Yeah, but sometimes you wonder whether there could be a better feeling than heading into the weekend. Although,
honestly speaking,
although of course, I'm among those who like what I do, and I don't mind whether it's Monday or Friday, but I mean, you can't take away the fact that you're heading into
you're heading into the weekend, and then you get to have time for the family as well.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, the NLC strike of yesterday, that's one of the issues that we'll be talking about, and it seems like they've decided to shelve it. Anyway, we'll get into all of that much later. From the cover page of the Guardian newspaper, we have this headline: Cabinet size nears 70 as Tinubu ignores calls for lean government. All right, that's and then when you go further down, you have pictures from the NLC protest, and underneath that one we have after Tinubu's parley, Labour FG in fresh legal tango over protests. Protest as faulty elevator kills a doctor in Lagos hospital. This also is one of the things that we will be talking about this morning on the show. Forensic experts lament rising digital fraud. Seek FG's intervention. And when you look on top of the nameplate, you have Abubakar leads ECOWAS mission for negotiation with Niger junta. Buhari Oshibajo absent as APC NEC ratifies Gandhi today. Military coups looking inward at democracy, governance in Africa. All right, so these are the headlines. Which one tickles your fancy the most? Let's start with that.
Well, you took one about the APC inaugurating, ratifying new leadership. You've also taken something about the coup. It sounds more like the editorial of the newspaper. Yeah, well, but let me touch on first of all on the most important issue, even if I know that it will be discussed a little later this morning on this show, the NLC strike over the girls' death on Lagos Island now, or the ladies on Lagos Island now. The enemy has also declared a strike. I personally believe that industrial actions are entirely avoidable. We can always work out a truce. This is a president who understands. I mean, a president who is able to build bridges, connect politicians, break barriers. His cabinet nominees now, you have people from the PDP, Accord Party, and all kinds of places. And I'm wondering how such a diplomat, such a suave and smart politician is not able to prevent workers from going on strike. Yesterday, they pulled out the National Assembly building, the first gate of the building. And I'm thinking that then the strike is called by human beings. I mean, Joe Ajeran is, is it first to see for the TUs and NLC leaders who are responding as men, as human beings, to what the president has, as a man, as a person also initiated, which was to take away subsidy. So this is an entirely man-made situation. It's not a national disaster. I'm thinking, why can't we control the risk if we're the ones initiating the risk? Why can't we manage the terms if it came from us? Why didn't we have an end game? If taking away subsidy was eventually going to result in a strike, what was our counter plan to that? To have witnessed what we saw yesterday, the K2 Mantel Market Corridor was literally barricaded. They, from Unity Fountain, they went to National Assembly. In many states across the Federation, they literally brought work to a halt. And I'm asking, again, what is this all part of the plan? The way the president performs politically, you think that his genius is enough to hold forth for him when it comes to industrial relations. My thinking is perhaps it's the way they put the priorities together. Is it that it's not essentially a priority of the president to prevent the strike from taking place? NLC is on strike, NMA, House is planning, resident officers on strike. And all of these things are not new. The reasons for these strikes are not new. He's a new president, there are new union leaders,
So
but none of these, no. Yes, but the issues have been there long enough for anybody who wants the president to know what he really wants to do. He himself said, don't pity me, I asked for the job. So he should have known exactly what we are involved, the intricacies. Look, the new things on the table are this. The coup in Niger, which nobody had seen coming, to be fair. And the fact that West Africa now seems to be receding to the era of coups. I mean, Buhari spent 8 years in power. We didn't notice or feel that this was going to that this sort of truncation of democracy was getting widespread. But with what has happened in Niger, it's like a whole new ball game. And he being ECOWAS chairman, that part of the job, everything is coming new to him. But on the issue of strikes, the people who normally go on strike in Nigeria, did you realize that when the lecturers of COE, College of Education, said that people should teach only for 2 days in a week, federal government didn't even say anything about it. They kept quiet. How are you not bothered about the reduction of the standard of education of your teachers, future teachers? No negotiation, no conversation. They just said, if that's what you can do, please just keep on doing it. What does that even mean? Who is sitting? Will those students graduate at the same time they will graduate if they're learning 5 days a week? So what does that do to the quality of their training and in future to the standard of education in the country? So these are the issues. They are purely man-made and they can be resolved. Because you see, while the nation is, while the economy is grounded, the politicians are busy ratifying who will become the chairman of the APC. Politics does not stop because they don't go on strike in that area. In fact, the president has already set a new record of the number of people he's going to put on his cabinet. You know why? The answer is very simple. Go and look at the cabinet. It is heavy with names of politicians. Former governor of Zapara, former governor of Ebonyi, former governor of Rivers, former governor of in fact, almost all former governors that just left office are all sweeping into the cabinet. It looks to me like we want to settle the boys. So if you are large-hearted enough to even create ministries, bloat the portfolio, and spend more on politicians, why can't you spend more on Nigerians? Why can't we? The money is not the money.
It all boils down to an issue of
priorities.
Yes.
It's not a look. I told you here one day. I said that President Tinubu is somebody that can run this country without a single strike. I don't know if you could, but I remember saying it here. I said President Tinubu has the political sagacity and tact to make sure that there will be no strike. But what do we now have? Labour said that when they went to negotiate, they only met empty chairs. That's one. And that they've not even inaugurated, government has not even inaugurated a subcommittee for wage negotiation. That's two. Then, while the discussions were meant to take place with regard to the subsidy removal, before the discussions will even commence, government increased the price again. So this is not, just to let you know, this is clearly an issue of priorities. If you want to stop this around, you can stop it from happening.
All right, let's touch on another day daily and hope that we find other headlines there that are not related to the strike. From the Punch newspaper, the banner headline is subsidy protests, banks, offices shut amid rallies. Labour demands 200,000 wage. NLC, TUC leaders hold emergency neck today after special meeting with Tinubu, National Assembly. FG sues Labour leaders, says protest will be suspended. I beg your pardon? Yes. FG sues Labour leader, says protest will be suspended How protesters broke National Assembly gate. Okay. Oyetola Lalong Bagudu. 16 others make second ministerial list.
All the names you call now are former governors. This is for me, look, the president has his choice to make. It's not for me to dictate to him. But I can make my inference because it's my opinion. I'm entitled to it. The reality is that I wish that the effort we're putting in to keep the politics in one place will be replicated in all sectors. Now, this list is heavier on politicians than it is on technocrats. The argument will be tomorrow that the people who do the real work are the technocrats. But forget not technocrats without power. Why did the minister? Why has Ali Pate been brought back to Minister of Power? Minister of Health, and he even resigned his appointment at Gavi, and was waiting to be. And of course, he has been screened. Okay, so I wish that the attentiveness and sensitivity we bring to the politics will also be brought to the economy. If we did that, things will get better. But if we relegate all other issues and fix just the politics of things, politicians serve themselves. It takes statesmen. It takes these same governors that, as they were living, that they left their states impoverished, took jumbo pays. Have we forgotten too soon? How can the same people who have put our people in poverty now be the ones to rescue them from poverty? It's all a joke.
It's all a joke, it seems. Well, the president, being the politician that we know him to be, we should expect he probably knows what he's doing.
He's a tactician.
Hopefully,
he's a masterful.
These same men will perform better. Hopefully.
Look, it is not easy for somebody like the president. Who, whenever the Tinubu Bat political family, whenever they issue a statement, is a masterpiece in writing. Whenever there's something about him that speaks to deliberate action, thoughtfulness, reflection, consultation. But should it be only when the president wants to shine? I think we should now make it when that the whole country wants to shine. How do you do that? The president does not surround himself with politicians. He has a cream. The likes of Wale Edun, Delalake, the one he put in charge of revenue mobilization. So these people have been with him for years, and they were the ones who made his government thick in Lagos. Now look, compare the Lagos cabinet of 1999 to 2007 with these current nominations, and tell me whether there's no difference. There are 2 centuries of difference. And I hope
let's take some more headlines here. Niger, something on Niger. Nigeria cuts power supply. ECOWAS vows to confront junta. FG delists 18 illegal loan apps. Ondo oil producing area, indigents protest, unpaid bursary. And we also have some more headlines here. PDP inaugurates campaign councils for Bayelsa, Imo, Kogi polls. Lagos probes doctor's death in hospital elevator. Colleagues shun work. Community protests demolition, seeks Sanwo-Olu's intervention. All right, so you want to respond before we go into another? I'm trying to
keep it time. Yeah, well, the point has to be made that the way our public hospitals are run is a far cry from where the world has gone. It's a far cry
it's
from
not just everything, the way everything is run.
Look,
maintenance culture is
at its
zero. Lowest
in fact, it's reading, how Russian temperature reads? Minus whatever degrees Celsius. We are on the nether side of life. Moses, all you need to do is to go to any public government-owned hospital and try, God forbid, don't be the sick person, but try to cater for a sick person and see whether
we were talking about this earlier. You will become a sick person.
You become a sick person yourself. Now, this is a doctor. To get blood from the bank to get the nurses, you've already bought everything you need. To get the nurse to come and run the line, you will be stranded. You could be there for another 3 hours. And look, now, unfortunately, because for the doctors to be shunning work, it means they know more than we do. This lackluster attitude. Let's even leave the caregiving. There was a tweet in 2020 saying that elevator was a dead trap. Nobody did or said anything about it.
Since 2020.
Is it only that place? When buildings collapse, the other day it was Alaba, and we said it was vendetta. It was selective. The other time it was Ikoyi, Banana Island. Thereafter, nobody does anything. It's not as if they have a program for helping for fixing the housing sector or fixing healthcare or fixing anything. A simple maintenance issue with an elevator. How do you have a faulty elevator on a building that has 10 stories? How do you do that? And excuse me, it is not only that place. Go around, you see. Just go around.
Of course.
This morning, just you'll be amazed. I'm sorry, from Ruth to all these places, go and check. Go and check it. Our federal secretariat that was there in 2019, you won't believe out of 5, only one was working. That is the nation's signature of pride of our out of 4 elevators at National Secretariat, Federal Secretariat in Abuja, only one was working. If you see the queue, people are queuing every day. When you put all the pressure on one, when that one goes away, what do you now do? What do you now do? That's when you have the federal government, they awarded and go and check, they awarded contracts every year to fix those things. They award contract every year to buy a new refrigerator every year. You have ministries of government, secondary school that want to fix, that want to build bridges and fix airports. Why are we so good on corruption? Why are we so smart on malfeasance, on maladministration, on malfunction? When it comes to doing what is simple and basic, look, this thing you're seeing at Lagos Island, what is even the assurance that it will not end up the way all the others have ended up? They tell you that they're setting up a commission of inquiry. They will set up another commission of inquiry to review the one of the first one, and 6 months down the line,
well, we hope not.
Life goes back to normal.
This is a life that has been lost, and it's even coming at a time when Nigerians are crying that doctors are leaving the country and we need more.
A country of 6 million citizens wants to empty a nation of doctors. You, with your 200 and something million people, you think it's a good thing that you have only one doctor to about 20,000 patients? The president needs to declare an emergency on almost all the sectors of the economy, healthcare, but the first one he declared on agriculture. What came of it? That's how you know that we cannot.
Disappearing grains. Oh well, let's quickly look at the Daily Trust before we wrap it up. Daily Trust has its banner headline: Nationwide protest. Tinubu meets Labour as workers storm National Assembly government houses. Port Harcourt refinery will resume operation December. President will address your demands in 7 days, Senate tells Labour. Why 7 days?
You see it.
It's been. I mean, this is a conversation that has been coming. Oh well. Court summons NLC over contempt.
Sorry. Let me help you. You see, you are saying why 7 days? Government and Labour have had this long. They went to. I think they went back after about a month, and now said that they are going to resolve the issues after in 2 months' time. Now, in 2 months' time, the Senate said they will resolve the matter in 2 weeks. What would have been resolved in 2 months or more cannot be resolved in how long? In 2 weeks. Perhaps, if a bomb had gone off in Abuja yesterday, they would have said that they could do it in 3 days. Let me say this. We cannot put our faith in politicians. This is all too clear. We cannot put our faith, our hope, our aspiration. Nigeria will not survive if our destiny was to be left in the hands of politicians.
It's unfortunate.
We won't go anywhere.
It's unfortunate.
And look, these contradictions that they are bringing upon ourselves, everything will crumble upon their heads. It is only too simple for anybody to see it coming. It will crumble upon them, and it will come back to haunt them.
All right, let's devaluation. Nigerian firms record 716.8 billion naira losses. Jay's Bank's half-year profit rises by 51%. Coup. Nigeria cuts off electricity supply to Niger. And when you go further down, ex-governors Bagudu, Lalong, Matawali, others make Tinubu's final ministerial list. Okay. Man died protecting son from collapsed building in Akure. Quite unfortunate. At caucus meeting, Tinubu charges APC leaders on financial discipline. All right, so these are the headlines that we can take from the Daily Trust, and this is basically all we can take this morning. Cyril, thank you very much for coming. We'll go on to another segment of the show. Now, the strike is well underway, and protests are everywhere. Labor unions in Nigeria began a 7-day warning strike to press home their demand for improved welfare for workers. Well, details when we come back. Whether or not the strike will be called off, will it be called up again after speaking with the president? We will know. Well, details of this and more. So just stay right here. VOP will be back in a bit.